Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Social Sciences Coffee Break Chat. I'm Paul Rombo, a social sciences consultant at Learn, and I'm joined with my colleague, Stacey Allen, also a social sciences consultant, and we both are also RACI consultants. And let's get started today. Canva provides several timeline templates, and these can be edited and used for various timeline activities. Well, the why is important. Students learn to interpret and create timelines. It's actually a technique written in the QEP program several times. We forget some of the details about writing, interpreting, and creating timelines that have to do with the chronology, duration, understanding how they work, and also understanding how to make them. Also, the digital competencies in play here. Students learn to mobilize, produce, and also collaborate with these technologies. The example I'm going to show you is a collaborative activity. And don't forget, students are evaluated on their ability to use their knowledge to characterize society, for example, by situating events or people or places in space and time. This particular activity is what I'm going to show you. Actually, two samples are from secondary cycle 2. So I'm going to jump. Well, first of all, I'll show you quickly what the timeline search on Canva looks like. This is not the Canva AI that Stacey's going to show you. It's a straight search for timelines, and you get various formats, and you can browse through them and decide which activity you want to, which format suits your activity. And often they inspire activities. My first attempt was an example of a suffragette timeline that resembles a lot of timelines that I've worked on at Learn, whereby there are two different layers. So basically, you're setting things in time, but you're also connecting them to facts. There is a concept or a people involved in this case, and the top timeline is key persons in women's suffrage, and on the bottom is our key Black contributions or Black Canadian people involved in the women's suffrage movement. Excuse me. So the idea here is that I grabbed a timeline I liked. I put the icons that I associate with my own collections of tracing different histories through Canadian history, which is available in the teacher section. Tracing documents, they're called. And I put the icon for Black history tracing events. So the idea is that the student would find some key events involved in women's suffrage, and on the bottom they would insert key events that are involved in Black history and women's suffrage to compare where they occur. They can move the events around. They can replace the image, and they can create a dialogue of what happened that they can share with their classmates and explain why these events were significant. So that was a sort of a more typical use. Then I was looking through again, and I found this other template, which I'll show you that I created an activity out of, and it's a different format, and it kind of inspired me to do sort of a card type of activity. And you'll see when you see the actual the form of the template. Basically, I have a bunch of collections for World War I and or First World War, and I ask students to choose 6 events from all those documents, and then I ask them to go a little bit further to go outside of those documents and find 3 other interesting events that are not typically listed in the materials we have or the materials we study, and say why they're interesting to them. And then they're going to build a timeline of these 9 or 10 events and put them in chronological order using this template. And I just thought this was interesting, but because to me it looked like a playing card, and the students could again just fill in the dates, fill in the events they found, 6 that are in the collection, 3 that they discovered on their own. And the idea here would be then to take the card, and you could change them around, and the students could compare and say what events were they had in common that they both chose, and which ones they didn't find or they they didn't choose, and they could explain to each other what they were and why they thought they were important to them. And of course, the main idea with between dealing with events in history is to determine their significance. So they decide whether, again, these events were significant for Canada, and they write up a description as to an event that they both feel is the most significant for Canada. So there's a few organizers to write down the events here, to write down the events that they found interesting, and also to measure their historical significance and decide on one event. But anyway, that's my timeline template, and I'm going to pass it over to Stacy, who's going to go into a more interactive Canva solution.
Okay, so for today's elementary resource, I wanted to show you how you can quickly create interactive timelines using Canva code, which is a type of artificial intelligence built into Canva. Now, these interactive timelines are a great way for students to practice timelining events. So I've created an example here for timelining events between Quebec 1905 and 1980 for cycle 3 as an example. But as you'll see in my example on societies and territories, I've also included a prompt template for you to be able to create your own interactive timelines with different events for any society or time period that you are working with for your students for free with your Canva for Education account. So I am going to show you on societies and territories the page for the interactive timeline. And if you see here, there is a link to a website that hosts my timeline. Now, I've decided to host my timeline on its own website, but you could also embed this timeline in a presentation inside another project that you are doing in Canva, instead of necessarily directing your students to a specific website for this activity. So you can see here that I have events to place on my left and I have my timeline on the right. So students can simply drag and drop the different events into where they think they happened in time. I pictured having this displayed on an interactive board at the front of the class and having students come up and try to put them in order as a whole class, but it could also be done for review individually or for homework using this website. That you could turn into a QR code or another short code to share it easily with students. So you'll see here at the end, once I have randomly placed all my events in order on my timeline, the students can check for their answers. Oh, we got none right, or I got none right this time. And then it gives you some impact and some little hints down below so students can reset the game and try again. Now, if I go back to the site on societies and territories, you'll also see again that I have included a prompt. So for this prompt, you can copy the prompt and you could change the events that you want on your timeline. So maybe, like I said, this example is from 1905 to 1980. Maybe you want to look at events that happened in your own community during that time. Maybe you want to look at what the progression has in terms of events from 1820 to today. So you could pick some different events depending on your pedagogical intention. But the idea behind this is that I could copy this prompt and adjust it, and then I could go into Canva. And you'll notice that here I'm on a tab for my designs, but over here I have a tab for Canva AI. And all you need to do this to create an example timeline is to paste this prompt into the Canva AI and it will generate the code for you. Now I'm going to hold off because I've already created this timeline and I want to be aware of my environmental impact to not regenerate over and over again. But you can see that once you would press the submit button, it would generate code, and in about 5 to 10 minutes, you would have an interactive timeline with your own events based on your pedagogical intention. So I encourage you to explore Canva. I hope you enjoy the interactive timelines, and I would love to hear some of your feedback about Canva AI and how you're using it in your classroom in geography, history, and citizenship education. So have a wonderful day.